truth won't break. Clouds roll in, shadows high. I stand tall, won't step aside. Lightning strikes, fire in my chest. Thunder calls, I won't forget. Fear may shout, but I push through. Ain't no storm that tells me what to do. Storm was loud, but so was I. Wind came strong, but I stood high. Now the sky is big and bright. Fear is gone, truth shines light.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Glad to have everyone here. Sorry I'm a little late. Computer was acting up while I was trying to set the show up. So it put me behind a few minutes, but we made it.
Glad you all made it. Thank you for your patience.
We made it. We talked to Mike earlier for a couple minutes. He's still alive. So,
He's still healing. Getting much needed rest. So just keep him in your prayers.
But I'd like to welcome the pet ladies tonight. How are y'all doing?
Hello, thank you. We're doing good.
How are you? Same prayers for Mike every day.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So how's the weather out there where you guys are? How's your partner in crime? She's doing better?
She's good. She's going through a little survivor's guilt, which is kind of interesting. After experiencing something like she experienced, realizing how grateful she is to be alive. And so she's okay, but she's definitely going through a little bit of that.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I think it didn't sink in for a good week how close she came to being snatched. And I think once it sunk in, she definitely has been going through a little like PTSD type thing,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Thank you for asking, though.
Yeah. How's the weather where you are?
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's really hot.
Yeah.
What is hot there?
Oh.
They're humid though.
92?
Yeah, it's really humid.
92 degrees right now.
Yeah, it was 110 where we are, but we have no humidity. So we're
We've
out.
got all humidity.
Yeah, it makes a total difference. I mean, it's hot, and you walk out, it's like a sauna, but you don't walk out and sweat,
Right. It's hotter right now. The sun's starting to go, well, no, it's still out, but it's supposed to be starting to go down. And it's hotter than it was earlier today. So it's weird.
Yep. Well, I want to thank you all for letting us come on the show again tonight. We really appreciate it. We're excited to be here. My name is Kim, and I'd like to introduce Diana in just a minute. First, I want to express my prayers and sending healing thoughts and love to Mike. Mike, we really hope that you are able to come back on soon. Miss you very much. And I sure miss the hey, welcome every day. It's automatic. Anyway, today we're going to talk about traveling with pets. And it's that time of year when we're hitting the road with our special fur babies. And we have some special things to say tonight. Diana is one of the mushroom ladies, and she is certified in pet nutrition and holistic pet care, pet and human CBD. And I'll turn it over to you, Diana.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, Mike, we just pray for you every day. We pray for healing. We pray for fast recovery. And we are so thankful for Sheepdog and Mrs. Sheepdog for, jumping in and picking up. Not everybody has somebody who has their back like you do, Mike, which tells you a lot about you.
Right.
Yeah. So this platform, we really want to make sure people understand that the podcasters out there, the Sheepdogs, the Mrs. Sheepdogs, the Mike Pennies, they work so tirelessly for you guys. Sometimes I think we forget what they sacrifice to be here for us every single podcast, as well as, putting their families on hold, putting their financial aspirations on hold, doing the research that they do to come up with the things they come up with. And so we just want you guys to really think about, visiting the truthseekers88pets.com, because a portion of everything that you buy goes back to this platform to help support this platform. So why give your money to the big box stores? Why give it to the corporations when you can get very unique, affordable things for your fur babies? So today we're here to educate. We want to talk about hitting the road with your fur babies. A lot of people will say, oh, I'm not sure if we should take our dog or cat with us. And yes, absolutely, take them with you, but plan ahead. So whether you're going in an RV or you're going by car or by plane, the most important thing with your pet is to keep them safe, healthy, happy, and comfortable.
Yes. And so a lot of people are hitting the road and we want to take their furs with them. How do you feel about traveling with your pets?
I love traveling with pets as long as you're prepared. As long as you're prepared to know that it is definitely going to be a process. Okay, it's going to be a process, and again, it's keeping them safe, keeping them healthy, and keeping them comfortable and happy.
And well, how do you keep them healthy?
Well, keeping them healthy is pretty easy. It's your responsibility to keep them healthy while you're on the road. Don't change their food and water. That's one of the worst things you can do. So if you can possibly travel with the water they're used to, awesome. But if you can't, switch them over to a type of bottled water that you can get while you're on the road. Because changing their water, it's hard enough for a human to travel. Think about how many times you've heard of people going to different places and getting a little stomach bug because they changed water. Well, the same thing happens to your animal. Don't add the stress of changing food or water. If possible, start them on something else so that you, like 10 days, a week, 2 weeks before, make sure that you're examining your pet frequently. Get a nice short haircut before you go, because if they're going to get ticks or anything like that, bites, you can see them better. Use all natural sprays for fleas and ticks. So where we live, fleas and ticks aren't here because it's too hot. But when we take our dog Cody to Texas or to North Carolina or, to Mississippi, we spray him down with a product called Wondercide. It is literally the most incredible product because it's all natural. I use it on myself too. But make sure you're spraying them down. Make sure you're checking for fleas and ticks and chiggers and all of those things that can happen. Anxiety and fear is one of the biggest things that can happen with these fur babies. There's new smells, there's new sounds. They're in a car, they're in an RV, or they're in an airplane. So, make sure that you bring some chill doggies with you. We have those on our website. That'll keep your pup nice and chilled out so that the pup is not going to feel like he's overly stressed. It's a really important thing to do.
Yes. And what can we do to keep them happy and comfortable?
Well, that's pretty easy. First of all, it's not too hard to keep an animal happy. Animals, they just want to be with you. So you want to make sure that you do familiar smells. Bring their blankie. Bring some of your clothes they can lay on. Don't wash them. Don't make them all nice and clean. They want to smell familiar smells. If you're staying in a hotel or a vacation rental, bring their bed. Bring things that are comfortable for them. Pillows, things that they love. And that way they're going to feel like a little bit of home is there. Make sure that they have outdoor time. That's really important. And if you have an X pen outside for them, make sure you're supervising it and you keep a cover over it. If you're traveling with a cat in an RV, I know this sounds crazy. Teach that cat to go on a leash and get that cat outside, because being in an RV day in, day out, day in, day out, it's not as big as your home. So you're gonna stifle them a little bit. They do need to get a little outdoor activity, and that's really important. Make sure that you bring shampoo and conditioner with you, because you never know when you're going to have to give them a bath, especially after they have gone swimming.
Yeah. How do the chill doggies work to
The
do?
chill doggies, yeah, the chill doggies are amazing. They have catnip, which is calming for dogs. They also have all kinds of herbs, and these herbs are great to just calm them down. We like to say the chill doggies just chill the doggy. I mean, haven't you ever heard somebody that says take a chill pill, or hey, chill out? It's the same exact thing with our pups. We just want to chill them out a little bit so they feel a little bit better about the environment that they're in.
What about swimming? A lot of dogs like to go swimming in the summer.
This is one of the most important things, and I'm going to go back to safety after that, because safety is so important. No summer vacation is without swimming, right? That's what we do. We go to the lakes, we go to the beaches, and all of that. So very, very, very important that you are really careful about swimming with your dog. First of all, supervision is critical. You want to make sure that they don't get overheated or overtired or dehydrated. All of those things can happen. Overexertion because they're playing so much. And again, a little chill doggy at the end of the day is going to help them sleep a little better. A little leg cramp in a dog can actually cause a dog to drown if there's a tough current. I do suggest that you have a life jacket no matter what, and a tether. Your dog can get caught up in a current and be gone. And if you have a tether, you can reel them back in. So very, very important. I don't think any dog should be in the water without a life jacket. They love it because it gives them more confidence. It's nice and tight, so it makes them feel secure. And you know that you're going to be able to reel that dog back in if he gets in some trouble, or if he goes after something. My dog goes after ducks all the time. Always, always, always make sure that if you're in a pool, you're supervising, but make sure the dog knows how to get out of the pool. I mean, that is something that's very important. A dog can swim himself to death. We see it all the time. Chlorine is also really harmful for their coats. So you want to make sure that if you're taking your pup on vacation, you're going to be in a swimming pool with chlorine, rinse him off with clear, fresh water when you get done, because it can dry out their skin and make them really uncomfortable. Ocean water is so, so, so much fun. The dogs love running and playing on the waves and all that thing. However, this is when a pup can really get into trouble. They grab things, they eat things they shouldn't eat, they step on coral, they can cut themselves. So you do want to make sure that, again, keep the dog tethered, let them run though, and of course, obey the local laws. But dog booties are really helpful on the beach. I know some people say their dogs will not wear them. You can even go get baby socks, because baby socks will stay on a little bit better. My dog kicks them off really fast, so we put on the little baby socks, and then I just put on a little piece of Velcro around it, and it seems to stay on. Life jackets, again, please, 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 please. Now, this is the other thing that's really important about swimming. Some of the lakes have bacteria, and some of these bacteria are so, so dangerous. It's critical that you understand what's going on in the local area. You want to make sure you're calling and seeing if there's any bacteria. There's a bacteria right now in the Colorado River that can kill your dog. So lakes and streams, which are so much fun, you've got to be careful. Also, with lakes and streams, you want to be very careful that you don't let your dog pick up remnants of fish where people have been fishing, or fish hooks. Fish hooks are one of the most crazy things that happen all the time. So again, have fun with your dog, take them with you, but be prepared. And I'm going to just touch on safety now, because keeping them safe is our job. I mean, that's totally our job. If we're going to take them, it's our responsibility. It's like a child. So one of the things you want to make sure is that your dog is tethered in the seat with a seatbelt of some sort. I had a guy tell me the other day, oh, I don't like the seatbelt because it's too restrictive. So I went and bought him a leash that has a seatbelt on the same end as the clip. So the dog can still move back and forth in the back seat, but he's still tethered in case there was an accident and he won't go flying. We've talked about this before, I think, on this show, but I have two really sad stories about dogs that were in car accidents. You know, we think, oh, the best place for our puppy's on our lap. That's where he wants to be. And there was a woman in an RV that had her pup on her lap. And they got broadsided. Not their fault. Nothing they did wrong. They got broadsided. The airbag went off. The puppy flew up into her face. Little dog. Killed the dog because of the airbag. Killed the dog and broke bones in her face. So what could have just been a little bit of an accident where the airbag went off and there was some damage ended up being tragic just because they didn't have the dog tethered and where he was supposed to be. So that's a really, really important story. Another story is a couple named Paul and Lee. They were driving down the road. It was nighttime. They hit some black ice. Their SUV started rolling. It rolled 3 times. And all 3 dogs were ejected. They were all in the back seat. And the irony of this was they literally had taken a picture of all 3 dogs laid in the back seat before they left and said, pups are comfortable, we're on our way home. And it was hours later that we got the word they had been in this horrible accident. All 3 dogs went flying, ejected out the windows, out the doors, wherever. 2 dogs ended up in a snowdrift and kind of were just like shaking it off. But 1 dog just took off running down the highway. And the woman, Lee, had a broken leg. She went running after the dog with her broken leg. She said she would have bet everything she owned that her dog would have never run from her. That's not what happens. When they're scared, they run. It's the flight or fight syndrome, and there's nothing you could do about it. Somebody asked about people swimming in those rivers. There are some of those bacteria that are not good for people, and some that are just not good for animals. It's always good if you're going somewhere where there's a lake or a river or a stream that you call and you find out the local conditions. Call the local veterinarian. Find out what's going on. But usually there's warnings about whether it's like a algae bloom or something like that. So again, secure your dog. So important. So let's talk a little bit more about what you should take with your dog. Take a go bag. My Cody has a little go bag, and his little go bag goes with us everywhere. And it has his medical records, his health certificate. It has a tick puller. It has Benadryl in case he gets bit by a snake. It has little snipers and cutters in case he gets a thorn or he gets a fish hook in his mouth, which is a very common thing. Gauze for tape and wounds. If you're going to be in a wooded area, get a brush vest. You can get them at any sporting goods store. So all the prickly things and all the little goat sticky things that get onto their feet and onto their chest won't come on them. Again, the booties will really help. Also, if your pet gets stung, make sure, or bit by a snake, which happens frequently, make sure that you get a good description of the attacker. If you can get a picture, take a picture so that you can get to the vet quickly. If you can't get to a vet quickly, at least call a local animal hospital, send them the picture of what it is. They know the local threats. They know, oh, that's just a harmless snake. He's going to be fine. They know those things. We don't know them because we're traveling and we're in a different area. Make sure that you have visible identification, not just a chip. Because if your dog wanders away from you, and somebody can find out where you're staying, put a little paper tag on or a piece of tape that says what hotel and what hotel room or what RV or what RV space, but the local information, of course, and your phone number so your pup can get returned to you faster than going to a shelter or a pound. But it's so important that you guys understand that if you're going to be in an area more than 24 hours, know where the local hospital is. Know where the local vet is. Know what the local threats are. In Florida, there's actually a toad called the cane bufo toad. If my 20-pound dog were to go up and sniff it, it could kill him. The older dogs the bigger dogs would just make them really, really sick. But it's crazy how this can happen. So again, if you know what the local threats are, you're going to be just fine. Also know the local leash laws and be respective of that. I recommend keeping on a dog on a leash all the time. And if you want to let him run, just put a 100-foot tether on him. But if something happens and they get spooked, you can pull them back in. Or if they get into trouble or another dog comes running up to them. We had a dog in Arizona that was out playing in the desert, running and having a ball. And a Apache helicopter came out of nowhere, scared the crap out of the dog. The dog just took off. They looked for that baby for weeks. There were crews of hundreds of people out there looking for that little golden doodle. They never found him. We really are sad to think that the coyotes probably found him.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was tragic. So again, if they would have just had him on a tether, he could have still been, running. But when that helicopter came and spooked them, they could have pulled him back. So again, there's so many things that can happen to our animals, and we just want to make sure that everybody understands that, traveling with our pets is a gift. It's so much fun to do. We've developed this cute little travel checklist that Kim's going to put up on the website that's got all the things that you need in the medical bag, the go bag, all the things, some safety tips. And we just really want you guys to make sure that you're looking at it and understanding that these things are easy to do. Why have a family outing, a family vacation, end in a tragedy? And believe me, it would be one of the worst things you can do. So, yeah. So I'm going to just tell all of you, hit the road with your pups. Hit the road.
And something else maybe, if for swimming, the drops to put in their ears after swimming.
Yeah, it's very important that you dry their ears, and because they can get swimmer's ear just like kids. And also, I don't know if any of you have ever had a dog that swims a lot. We have a dog that loves to swim. He swam all day today in the lake. But when he goes to bed, he literally swims in his sleep. It's kind of the cutest thing you've ever seen. His little paws are going. But that means he's just a little uneasy and he's all amped up. So giving him a chill doggy will calm him down a little bit. And the other thing, too, is the mushroom therapy that we offer for animals is so important for their health and their immune system. Anytime that you can help an animal stay healthier, his immune system stay modulated, you're going to see such a difference in the dog. So I'm going to end with a couple of testimonials. First of all, we want to welcome Charles. Charles has become an affiliate with the Truth Seekers 88 Pets, and we're so excited for that. He's going to be doing some great things. He's on a mission just like the rest of us. We call it a mineral mission, a mushroom mission, and every pet parent every day needs to have their immune system supported, whether it's human support or whether it's animal support. I was just sharing with somebody today that the Pennsylvania Veterinarian School of Medicine put it in writing that if your dog gets cancer and it takes the Coriellus versicolor mushroom, it will live longer and healthier. And I know, Sheepdog, you probably will appreciate this. No college would put something that's that anti-pharma in writing without crossing every T, dotting every I, and making sure that, because they got pushed back for saying that. But yeah, I just want to make sure that, we go on to the website, Truth Seeker 88 Pets, take a look at everything that we have. And if you have any questions of what we can do to help you with your animals, we're here to help. Just email us at the truthseeker88pets at gmail.com. And we'll get right back to you with some answers. I'm hoping that everybody has a fabulous summer, and go ahead, hit the road with those puppies, right? It's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're here to take some questions if anybody has them. I'm gonna Kim, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, no, but when you were talking about swimming and dogs, I had a chocolate lab, and we took her to the lake once. And my dad was working on the dock that was on the lake. He was in the water pushing up the styrofoam or something and Mocha just jumped in. Well, she didn't know what she was in for, and I think she just panicked. I don't know. I thought labs could swim, but she kind of panicked, and thank God my dad was in the water. He kind of heaved her up, and I kind of pulled, and we finally got her out. But that scared the bejeebies out of me because
Well, yeah, and they don't have a lot of depth perception either. So they really don't know. Now, you'll see some dogs that'll just dive in the water and come back up again. Make sure you're cleaning out their ears. Someone was asking about the fecal bacteria. That can be a real big problem too. And it brings me to one more point. We need to be good stewards of this land. I know we think we're out in the desert, let the dog poop wherever you want him to poop. But honestly, that poop that the dog is leaving is actually really dangerous and in some cases toxic and poisonous for the indigenous species. So if your dog is eating pet food and then pooping in the desert, and then the indigenous animals, the donkeys, whatever, come and eat it, it can really make some of them sick. So no matter where you are, pick up your poop. Just pick it up and discard it properly. Be a good steward of the land. Leave it better than you found it. But also that can truly cause more fecal bacteria in some of the water that we see. So again, make sure you know where you're going. Make sure you know what you're going to be up against. And then I just saw somebody talk about summer foods. Hot dogs, watermelons, and corn is not great for our animals. So make sure that you're not, having your animals partake in all the goodies that you eat over the holidays and over the summer backyard barbecues. Make sure that the trash is secure so that these pups don't get into the trash and end up with a bad bellyache or diarrhea or worse. But yeah, so I'm hoping this helps a little bit. We're here to educate. We're here because we love our animals, and all we want to do is just make sure that they have the best summer that they can have, and you have the best summer you can have. And again, support this website, support this platform so that we can support this platform financially. It's very important that we give it the funds that it needs to keep it going. All of you are just so great. With your participation and your love and all that you offer, so we appreciate that. So yeah,
they get a twofer. They're helping the channel, and they're helping themselves.
Absolutely, and they're fur babies. So yes, I'm Sheepdog and Mrs. Sheepdog. Do you guys have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Once they place an order, how long does it normally take to ship?
That's great. We usually ship the same day. If you order before 2 p.m. on the West Coast, it usually goes out the same day. And then depending on where you're located, I know I'm in Nevada, I get it in 2 days. Kim, you're on the East Coast. How long does it take you?
4 or 5, sometimes 6, depending on, what day the order's placed.
Yeah, we're pretty fast. And we also offer expedite shipping. If somebody wants something tomorrow, like they're getting ready to leave, and we do have 2-day shipping and next day shipping. It's pricey, but at least it gets you what you need.
Yeah. I like the free shipping.
Well, yeah, the free shipping is great when you order $49.99 in product, and then you click Smart Ship, you get free shipping.
Right.
And then you can just go right in and put that Smart Ship on hold. You don't have to get it every month. It's real easy.
Very easy.
On hold. It's so simple.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. A Shih Tzu can have chill doggies every day. We have lots of people that give their dogs the chill doggies for aggression, for anxiety, for separation issues. We have a dog across the street from us that's mommy and daddy died, and it was the saddest thing. And the dog was just a mess. And these people adopted little Sandy, and we could hear Sandy howling across the street, and it's a pretty wide street. And we felt so bad. We went over and talked to the parents and said, while you guys are at work, this poor dog's going nuts. We feel bad. And they go, yeah, we have a dog cam. We don't know what to do. The vet wants to give it medication. So we gave this pup some chill doggies. And oh my gosh, they have a dog cam. They said she's just chilled. And literally a half of one a day for a Shih Tzu. You could even break it up into quarters and give it a quarter in the morning, a quarter at night. If you're dealing with something that's ongoing, like, aggression or anxiety or separation issues. Yeah. Oh, good. 4 days, free shipping. Awesome. Yeah. We love that. We try to get everything out the same day. Very rarely do we not make same day. Our shipping department is on it.
I have a chill doggy story. My Onyx, who is about 55 pounds, is very skittish. I adopted her when she was 7 months old, or close to a year, and she had not been exposed to hardly any people, like two people, and her litter mates, and that was it. And so for ever since I've gotten her, I've taken her like every place I go, and she's still apprehensive about people and things. And I gave her a half of a chill doggy on was it the 4th of July, and went to the town parade, and I had this little headband on her with the two little spinning pinwheels, and she just pranced and loved it. It was so cute. And we walked right up to some other people, and this little aggressive boy came to pet her head, and she let him, and it was I was such a moment for me. I'm like, oh my God. And she had the best time. And the Corvettes were going by real loud, and the motorcycles were real loud. And she just sat there and watched. She was like watching a tennis game, back and forth, all these things.
I saw a picture. She looked like she was having a ball.
Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe how well she did.
Well, again, she was just chilled out, and so she wasn't all overamped. And someone asked about watermelon. Yes, watermelon can be good for your dog. However, the seeds can cause intestinal blocking, and too much watermelon can cause a little diarrhea. So you have to be very careful that you don't give them too much watermelon. Just give them a little bit, and make sure it's not too cold. That's something else that's important. If your dog has heat stroke or goes into like hyper, like panting, and you can tell he's overheated, the worst thing you can do is give him ice cubes or cold water, or dunk him in cold water. You need to cool off the pad slowly with tepid water, and make the whole process very slow. If you take a dog who is like in heat stroke and you put him in really cold water, you can kill the dog. So be really, really careful of that. But yeah, so thanks a lot for having us on, Sheepdog and Mrs. Sheepdog. How are your pups doing?
They're doing real good. They're very spunky. Yeah, like our older one.
Anyway.
Huh?
You wouldn't want them any other way.
Right. Our older one, he's what, 16?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. He used to be real slow, and kind of not much energy, but he has a lot more energy now.
Oh, good.
And what breed was that again? I can't remember.
It's a Cocker Spaniel.
A Cocker. Okay. And yeah, I'll get some more super sauce in the mail for him. I know Mickey was so generous that she donated her prize when she won, and so we're gonna ship it off to you. I don't think she wanted me to tell you that, but I'm telling you. Sorry, Mickey.
Aw, thank you, Mickey.
I know. I can't wait for Mickey to be able to get another fur baby. She has so much love to give.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. We'll hang out, and unless
Thank
there's
you.
any more questions.
Let's see. I don't see any. Let me
If they
check
come
the
up
chat.
with any, I'll catch them while we're playing this next video, and then we'll address it before we roll out.
Yeah, we're here. We'll be here.
But we're gonna keep it the topic on our pets, and I wanted to bring something a little special tonight about just the pets, and especially our
Nice.
dogs.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm gonna
They-
play this
they
short little. Yeah, go ahead.
No, they are the loves of our life. We know that.
Yes, they're very
Oh.
special.
So here is the a clip that I got. It's called Edgar Casey's prophecy about dogs. All right, but before we do that, I want to play a clip right here. This sweet lady right here for everyone.
I think we forget that life was never meant to be understood. It was meant to be felt. We spend so much time trying to figure everything out, trying to fix, explain, solve, control. But life is not a puzzle. It's a wave, and you were never meant to carry the wave. You were meant to let it move through you. The joy, the fear, the heartbreak, the moments that didn't make sense until much later. You were never broken. You were becoming. I think the sadness comes when we try to hold on to what's meant to pass. We grip the moment, the person, the feeling, hoping to freeze it in time. But everything you've ever loved was borrowed, and the beauty of it was never in the holding. It was in the being. So if you're hurting, don't rush to escape it. If you're lost, don't race to find direction. Feel it, all of it, because this too is part of the dance. And if you listen closely enough, even your pain is trying to teach you how to be alive. Think about it. And if this video touched your heart, click on the heart next to it. Come back here more often to listen to my messages and send it to the first person who comes to your mind right now. They must be needing this message.
Oh.
Trying to figure everything, trying to fix, explain,
It's not stopping.
solve, control.
Still.
Not a puzzle. It's a wave. You were never meant to carry the wave.
Sorry.
Is
y'all.
that still
You were
playing?
meant to
Yeah,
let
it's still playing.
There it goes.
the joy,
Oh no, it
No.
is.
fear,
It's still playing.
the heartbreak, the moments that didn't until much later. You were never broken.
It's not
You
playing on
were
the screen.
becoming. I think the sadness
I think
Oh,
we
let me
forget
try
that
this.
life was never meant to be
What's meant to
understood.
pass.
It was meant to be
grip them.
felt. We spend so much time
I think it's gone.
trying to figure.
Oh, she's back.
Be felt.
Yep.
We spend explain puzzle.
Get her.
It's a wave, and
There we
you
go.
were never meant to carry the wave. You were meant to let it move
Do
through
y'all still
you.
hear that?
The joy, the fear, the heartbreak,
Or is that just on my
the
end?
moments that didn't make sense.
Are y'all still hearing
until
that?
much later.
No, it's still playing. There it goes.
There we go.
Sorry about
Alrighty, here we
that.
go with the pets. Gonna add to it. Here we go. So the four-legged guardians will awaken when the earth enters its new vibration, right?
Has your dog ever done something that left you speechless? Something that seemed impossible, almost supernatural? If the answer is yes, you need to know this is no coincidence. In fact, you are witnessing the fulfillment of a prophecy made over 80 years ago by a man who could see the future while he slept. Edgar Casey was known as the sleeping prophet because his most remarkable visions occurred during deep trances. Between 1901 and 1944, he made more than 14,000 documented predictions that came true with eerie accuracy. He predicted the Great Depression, both world wars, devastating earthquakes, and even the internet, decades before it existed. But there's one Casey prophecy that remained almost forgotten for decades until now. A prophecy about dogs that is unfolding right now, in your home, in your neighborhood, all around the world. During his trances, Casey didn't just see historical events. He had clear visions of how animals would evolve spiritually alongside humanity. And among all the species that appeared in his psychic readings, dogs held an absolutely special place. The four-legged guardians will awaken when the earth enters its new vibration, said Casey during a session in 1943. They will become conscious bridges between the physical and spiritual worlds, disguised masters sent to teach humanity about unconditional love. Casey described dogs as natural spiritual antennas, creatures capable of sensing energies, predicting events, and even healing through their mere presence. He saw that these animals possessed abilities humans had lost over the centuries, but that would be reactivated at a specific moment in history. What's most impressive is that Casey was extremely precise about when this canine transformation would begin to happen. He predicted that the first signs would become evident when humanity faced major global challenges: pandemics, climate change, accelerated technological transformations, and a mass spiritual awakening. During one of his most intense visions, Casey revealed 3 distinct waves of canine evolution. The first would be the ability to detect diseases and predict events before they happened. The second would involve direct telepathic communication with their owners. The third and most powerful would transform dogs into true energy cleansers, capable of neutralizing negative energies and facilitating emotional healing processes. When the talking machines connect all humans, said Casey in 1944, clearly referring to the internet, the dogs will awaken to their true spiritual purpose. They will no longer be just pets. They will be conscious collaborators in the elevation of human consciousness. What makes this prophecy even more fascinating is that Casey saw many of the dogs arriving in families during this awakening period as actually being evolved souls who chose to incarnate as animals to help in humanity's transformation. Beings of light disguised as household pets. But here's the crucial point. Casey wasn't talking about a distant future. He was describing exactly what is happening now, at this very moment. The signs he predicted 8 decades ago are manifesting rapidly all around us. Dogs detecting cancer before doctors. Pets comforting their owners exactly when they need it most, even from a distance. Animals that seem to cleanse environments of heavy energies. Cases of near telepathic communication between dogs and humans. None of this is coincidence. It's the manifestation of a prophecy unfolding before our very eyes. The question remains, are you ready to recognize that your dog might be much more than you imagine? Because after learning what Casey really saw about the future of dogs, you will never look at your 4-legged companion the same way again. The canine awakening has begun. And if you pay attention, it's probably already happening in your own home. In 1944, during one of his last and most intense psychic reading sessions, Edgar Casey had a vision that left everyone present in absolute silence. His voice, already transformed by the deep trance, began to describe images of a future where dogs would take on an entirely new role in human society. I see the 4-legged guardians awakening, Casey said with an intensity that gave everyone in the room chills. When the earth enters its new vibrational frequency, dogs will become conscious bridges between the worlds. They will not just be pets, they will be disguised masters, sent to teach humanity about unconditional love and spiritual connection. The specific prophecy Casey received that day revealed 3 distinct waves of canine awakening. The first wave would happen as humanity began to spiritually awaken en masse, something he placed in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. During this phase, dogs would develop energetic healing abilities and be able to detect diseases even before doctors. The second wave would be even more impressive. Casey saw dogs establishing direct telepathic communication with their owners, responding to thoughts before words were even spoken. They would begin to show up exactly when their humans needed emotional support the most, as if guided by a higher intelligence. The third and most powerful wave would reveal dogs acting as true energy cleansers. They would be able to neutralize negative energies in homes, hospitals, and even in people going through deep trauma. Casey described this ability as emotional alchemy, the capacity to transform pain into healing through their mere presence. But what made this prophecy even more intriguing was the historical context in which it was received. We're talking about 1944, in the midst of World War II, when dogs were primarily seen as working or protection animals. The idea that these animals could have spiritual or therapeutic roles was considered absurd by the science of the time. The prophet was even more specific in describing the types of dogs that would be most affected by this transformation. He saw that both purebred and mixed breed dogs would manifest these abilities, but that rescued or adopted animals would have an even stronger connection to their spiritual purposes. It was as if the very act of being saved connected them to a higher mission. During that same session, Casey made a revelation that left everyone stunned. He said that many of the dogs arriving in families during this awakening time would actually be evolved souls who chose to incarnate as animals to assist in the transformation of human consciousness. They were beings of light disguised as household pets. The prophecy also included an important warning. Casey saw that not all humans would be ready to recognize these changes in their dogs. Many would interpret special behaviors as simple coincidences or animal instinct. But those who were spiritually awakened would be able to form extraordinary partnerships with their canine companions. The most impressive aspect of Casey's prophecy was his precision about the exact moment when all this would start happening. He predicted that the first signs would become evident when humanity faced major global challenges, pandemics, climate change, and accelerated technological transformations. Exactly what we are experiencing now. If you have a dog at home, you've probably already noticed subtle changes in their behavior in recent years. Maybe they've started following you more, getting restless before you get home from work, or showing heightened sensitivity to environments and people. These aren't isolated behaviors, they are the first signs of Casey's prophecy, manifesting right before our eyes. Veterinarians around the world began reporting an intriguing phenomenon starting in the 2000s. Dogs that had always been calm began to show levels of intuition that defy any traditional scientific explanation. Dr. Marcus Rodriguez, a behavioral veterinarian, documented more than 300 cases of dogs who developed what he calls emotional hypersensitivity, the ability to detect changes in their owner's mental state even before they physically manifest. One of the most impressive cases happened with Elizabeth Santos, 45, from New Jersey. Her dog Bobby, a 6-year-old golden retriever, began to show strange behavior every time she got ready to leave the house for work. He would literally block the door, cry, and refuse to move out of the way. Maria thought it was just stubbornness until she realized Bobby only did this on days when she was most stressed or about to have problems at work. It was as if he knew I needed to stay home and take care of myself, says Elizabeth. On the days he insisted I not leave, something important always happened that made me rethink my priorities. That's when I understood Bobby wasn't being stubborn, he was protecting me. But the signs go far beyond basic emotional sensitivity. Researchers at Duke University in the United States began documenting cases of dogs developing the ability to detect diseases with astonishing accuracy. We're not just talking about cancer, which was already known, but conditions like diabetes, epilepsy, and even deep depression. The case of Luna, a 4-year-old Labrador, made international headlines when she began obsessively sniffing her owner Joao's left arm for 3 consecutive weeks. Joao ignored the behavior until Luna started barking and scratching at the same spot. Worried, he saw a doctor and discovered a small tumor that had not yet been detected in routine exams. The tumor was exactly where Luna had been sniffing. Animal shelters also began noticing significant changes. Dogs once considered hard to adopt started showing an instant connection with specific people visiting the shelters. It was as if they knew exactly which human needed their companionship at that moment. Anna Claudia Ferreira, a shelter coordinator, said, "We started to notice that the dogs were choosing their owners, not the other way around. They approached people who were going through difficult times, divorces, family losses, illness. It was as if they had a radar for detecting who needed unconditional love the most." Another striking sign was the exponential increase in certified therapy dogs around the world. Between 2010 and 2020, the number of dogs trained for emotional therapy grew by more than 400% globally. But what caught specialists' attention was that many of these dogs began to demonstrate therapeutic abilities naturally, even before undergoing any formal training. Hospitals reported cases of visiting dogs who could identify patients most in need of companionship. They would ignore people who were doing fine and go directly to the beds of patients facing critical recovery moments. Nurses began using this canine intuition as an additional indicator to identify patients who needed special attention. Animal behavior research centers documented that dogs began reacting to storms, earthquakes, and other natural events with increasing advance notice. Whereas before they showed restlessness hours before seismic events, now some dogs alert their owners up to 2 days in advance. The most intriguing aspect of these early signs is their universality. It doesn't matter the breed, age, or background of the dog's special abilities are emerging in all types of animals. From poodles in apartments to mutts on rural farms, all seem to be waking up to abilities that had been dormant. Most impressively, this was just the beginning. The signs we started noticing in the 2000s were only the first wave of the prophecy. What would come next would be even more extraordinary. Imagine coming home after a terrible day and feeling all the heavy energy simply disappear the moment your dog comes near you. This is not a coincidence or imagination. It's the manifestation of a skill that dogs are rapidly developing, the ability to function as true energetic purifiers. Dr. Rupert Sheldrake, a biologist and researcher of unexplained phenomena, spent more than a decade documenting cases of dogs who demonstrate abilities far beyond what traditional science can explain. His studies revealed that dogs around the world are developing an extraordinary sensitivity to detect and neutralize negative energies in environments and people. The most documented case happened with the Thompson family in England. After moving into an old house, all family members began experiencing nightmares, insomnia, and a constant sense of unease. Max, the family's German shepherd, began to show peculiar behavior. He would walk through the house every night, stopping at specific points where he'd stand still for long minutes, as if he were working on something invisible. Max did a kind of ritual, says Sarah Thompson. He would breathe deeply in certain corners of the house, sometimes whine softly, and then shake his whole body as if shaking something off. After his rounds, we all slept better. The family decided to hire an energy specialist to evaluate the house. The professional confirmed there were several residual energy charges in the home, exactly in the spots where Max made his nightly stops. After a few weeks of the canine ritual, both the specialist and the family confirmed that the energy in the house had completely transformed. Hospitals and clinics around the world also began noticing similar phenomena with therapy dogs. Nurses reported that certain dogs could identify rooms with heavy energy and refused to enter until the space had been spiritually cleared. When they finally did enter, the patients in those rooms showed significant improvements in their emotional and even physical state. Holistic therapists have begun working in partnership with special dogs to enhance their treatments. During energy cleansing sessions, some dogs have demonstrated the ability to absorb negative energies released by clients and then discharge those energies through yawning, trembling, or even running in circles. Esther, a Reiki therapist, has worked for 3 years with her dog Isis during sessions. Isis always positions herself at the client's feet during the treatment. When we reach deep traumas or emotional blockages, she literally trembles as if processing that negative energy. Then she leaves, shakes herself, drinks water, and comes back completely renewed. Homes that have experienced traumatic events, deaths, separations, family arguments, have reported that their dogs began displaying spontaneous energy cleansing behaviors. They would walk around the house systematically, stop in specific places where arguments had occurred, and then lie down for long periods, as if they were absorbing and transmuting the residual energies. Some dogs have developed the ability to neutralize negative energy through touch. Reports of people feeling instantly calmer after being touched by certain dogs have multiplied exponentially in recent years. It's not a typical touch, it feels like a conscious energy transfer. The case of Amendoim, a mutt adopted by Ferdinand, perfectly exemplifies this evolution. Whenever someone arrived at his house, feeling stressed or sad, Amendoim would approach and place his paw on the person for a few minutes. Everyone reported an immediate sense of relief and tranquility. Amendoim seems to have an internal sensor for detecting who needs positive energy, says Ferdinand. He's never wrong. And what's most impressive is that after his treatments, people leave visibly lighter and renewed. Canine spiritual evolution isn't limited to energy cleansing. Many dogs are developing the ability to protect their homes and families from negative external influences. They can detect when people with bad intentions approach and create a sort of energetic shield around the house. Social media explodes daily with videos of dogs doing things that seem impossible. Dogs appearing out of nowhere to save children from accidents. Pets waking up entire families seconds before fires. Animals locating missing people in situations that defy all logic. These aren't isolated cases. They are manifestations of the third wave of Casey's prophecy intensifying around us. The case that gained global attention happened in March 2023 in a small town in the interior of Minas Gerais. Bela, an 8-month-old mutt, began barking desperately in the middle of the night and scratching at her owner's bedroom door. The family woke up annoyed, thinking she needed to go outside. But Bella ran directly to the 6-month-old baby's room and kept barking. When the parents reached the crib, they found the baby in apnea, completely purple. Doctors confirmed that without Bela's intervention, the child would not have survived. What's most impressive is that Bela had never shown any protective behavior before this episode. It was as if she had awakened to her guardian mission at the exact moment she was needed. Tell me in the comments, has your dog ever done something that left you speechless? Some kind of inexplicable rescue or protection? Dr. James Serpell, director of the Center for the Interaction of Animals and Society at the University of Pennsylvania, has been collecting similar accounts for over 5 years. His research documents more than 1,200 cases of dogs saving human lives in ways science still cannot fully explain. What we're observing goes far beyond traditional protective instinct, explains Dr. Serpell. These dogs exhibit a precognitive ability. They know something is going to happen before any physical signs appear. It's as if they have access to information they shouldn't have. The phenomenon intensifies even more when we observe dogs that save complete strangers. In October 2023, Thor, a German Shepherd, escaped from home and ran 3 blocks to a construction site. There, he began barking incessantly at a group of workers, preventing them from entering a specific area. 20 minutes later, exactly where Thor didn't let them go, a concrete structure collapsed. Thor had never left the house alone, his owner said, and there was no apparent reason for him to know about the danger at the site. It was like he had been given a specific mission at that moment. Before we continue, I want to invite you to the Quantum Thinking Challenge, a 21-day program where you'll reprogram your mind, raise your vibration, and unlock your full energetic potential. For 3 weeks, you'll have daily practices to transform your frequency and start attracting everything you desire. Access it in the first pinned comment. Now just imagine, you're thinking about coming home and your dog is already waiting at the door, even though you're miles away and without a set schedule. Or your pet appears next to you exactly when you're feeling sad, without you showing any external signs. This is not imagination. It's real telepathic communication happening between you and your dog, Doctor. Rupert Sheldrake conducted the most comprehensive study ever done on animal telepathy. Over 10 years, he documented more than 4,000 cases of dogs that demonstrated the ability to read their owner's thoughts and intentions from a distance. The results were so impressive that they completely challenged our understanding of animal communication. Sheldrake's most famous experiment involved JT, a fox terrier who always knew when his owner, Pam Smart, was coming home. What's remarkable is that Pam worked irregular hours and used different modes of transportation each day. Cameras installed in the house showed that JT began displaying restlessness and positioned himself at the window exactly when Pam decided to return home. Not when she left work, but when the thought of returning home formed in her mind. We tested JT for 2 consecutive years, explained Sheldrake. It didn't matter whether Pam returned by car, bus, train, or on foot. It didn't matter if she left earlier or later. JT always knew the exact moment she formed the intention to come home. Telepathic communication is not limited to detecting emotional states. Dogs are demonstrating the ability to respond to specific mental commands. Sarah Johnson, a dog trainer in Los Angeles, developed an experimental protocol to test this ability. I started by asking owners to only think about specific commands while looking at their dogs, says Sarah. The results were astonishing. Dogs obeyed mental commands like sit, come here, and lie down, with a 78% success rate. The most fascinating aspect of canine telepathy is its ability to transcend physical distance. American military personnel have documented cases of dogs reacting to dangers faced by their soldier owners in combat zones thousands of miles away. Corporal James Mitchell, an Iraq War veteran, reports that his dog Princess, who stayed in the U.S. during his deployment, would always become agitated and cry on the same days he was involved in intense combat. My wife started noting the days Princess was inconsolable. When I came back and compared it with my mission diary, the synchronization was perfect. Researchers at Duke University are studying the neurological mechanisms behind this telepathic communication. Through simultaneous MRI scans of dogs and humans, they've discovered brain synchronization patterns suggesting a form of non-local communication between species. We observed brain waves synchronizing between dogs and their owners even when they were in separate rooms, explains Dr. Michael Chen, the neuroscientist leading the study. It's as if there's a shared frequency allowing the exchange of information without any physical communication channel. Telepathic communication also manifests through shared dreams. Hundreds of people report dreams where their dogs appear with specific messages or alerts about real-life situations. Have you ever wondered why all these canine transformations are happening right now? Why dogs around the world are simultaneously awakening to abilities that seemed impossible just 2 decades ago? The answer is connected to something much greater than we imagine: a planetary vibrational elevation that Edgar Cayce predicted with uncanny accuracy. According to Cayce's readings, Earth would enter a new evolutionary phase in the early 21st century, marked by an acceleration of collective human consciousness. He described this period as the time of the Great Awakening, when both humans and animals would develop dormant spiritual abilities to navigate the intense transformations of this planetary transition. When humanity faces its greatest challenges, said Cayce, in 1943, the four-legged guardians will awaken to guide and protect during the passage into the new Earth. They will serve as beacons of unconditional love in times of turbulence. Dr. David Hawkins, a psychiatrist and researcher of consciousness levels, developed a scale that measures the collective energetic vibration of humanity. His studies show that since the year 2000, human consciousness has been undergoing an unprecedented acceleration. leaping from levels of survival to spiritual awakening at a pace that would normally take centuries. We are witnessing a real-time evolution of consciousness, explains Dr. Hawkins. And animals, especially dogs, are responding to this vibrational rise by developing abilities that connect them more deeply with the human experience. The temporal synchronicity is impossible to ignore. The first intense manifestations of special canine abilities began to be massively documented starting in 2001, exactly when humanity experienced one of the greatest collective shocks in modern history. It was as if dogs had received a cosmic activator to begin their spiritual support mission. Researchers at the HeartMath Institute discovered that major traumatic global events generate measurable electromagnetic waves that affect the planet's energetic field. These waves not only influence human behavior, but also activate evolutionary responses in domesticated animals, especially those with deep emotional bonds to humans. Dogs function as living antennas for these planetary energetic changes, explains Dr. Roland McCready, Director of Research at HeartMath. They are responding to frequencies we humans are only beginning to understand scientifically. The 2020 pandemic marked another crucial milestone in the canine awakening. Veterinary reports worldwide documented an explosion of anomalous behaviors in dogs during lockdowns. Animals that had never shown special sensitivity began displaying emotional detection abilities, energy healing, and even premonition. It was as if the collective emotional intensity of the pandemic activated something dormant in dogs, says Dr. Sandra Molina, a behavioral veterinarian from Madrid. In 2 years, I received more reports of psychic canine behaviors than in my entire previous career. The phenomenon isn't limited to traumatic events. Global celebrations, collective meditations, and mass spiritual movements also generate energetic waves that amplify canine abilities. During solar eclipses, supermoons, and other significant astronomical events, animal research centers document spikes in telepathic activity and healing behaviors in dogs worldwide. Quantum physicists have begun theorizing that dogs may be accessing what they call the collective morphogenetic field, a non-local information network connecting all living consciousness on the planet. As humanity raises its vibration through crises, growth, and spiritual awakening, dogs automatically tune in to these higher frequencies. Dogs have always been sensitive to subtle energy fields, explains Dr. Amit Goswami, quantum physicist and author of The Self-Aware Universe. But now, as human consciousness expands, they are accessing levels of quantum information that allow them to function as bridges between dimensions of reality. The digital age also plays a crucial role in this awakening. The same technology that instantly connects billions of human minds is creating a planetary electromagnetic field that amplifies dogs' natural psychic sensitivity. They are literally picking up the waves of information circulating through global communication networks. Spiritual centers around the world report that their resident dogs have begun displaying special behaviors synchronized with global meditations and collective prayer movements. During events like Earth Day, solstice celebrations, and global peace campaigns, these animals spontaneously enter deep meditative states. Our dogs become living barometers of the rise in planetary consciousness, says Lama Tenzin from the Buddhist Center in Brasilia. When humanity unites in positive intention, our canine companions respond immediately, radiating a peace that further amplifies the collective energy. Astrologers and scholars of cosmic cycles point out that we are living in what many ancient traditions called the era of transition, a period when planetary consciousness undergoes a fundamental transformation. Dogs, as beings naturally attuned to cosmic rhythms, are serving as catalysts and facilitators of this transition. Dogs are the first to catch the new frequencies arriving on the planet, explains Maria Helena Ramallo, astrologer and researcher of cosmic cycles. They are showing us what the next phase of conscious evolution will be like: more telepathic, more empathetic, more energetically connected. The climate urgency and global environmental challenges have also activated in dogs a kind of collective preservation instinct. They seem to understand, on a deep level, that their spiritual evolution is directly connected to the survival and evolution of human consciousness. Evolutionary biologists suggest we are witnessing what they call accelerated symbiotic evolution, where two species evolve rapidly in response to extreme environmental pressures, developing traits that mutually benefit their survival. Dogs are evolving to become our conscious partners in navigating the planetary challenges we face, explains Dr. Lynn Margulis, evolutionary biologist. They are developing exactly the skills we need: intuition, healing, early problem detection, emotional support to make it through this critical time in human history. The canine awakening is not an isolated phenomenon. It is part of a greater cosmic orchestration preparing both humans and animals for a new phase of planetary existence. Dogs have consciously chosen to assume the role of guides, healers, and protectors during this crucial transition. This explains why so many pet owners report the feeling that their dogs chose them, arrived with a specific mission, or are much more than just pets. Because they truly are. They are conscious collaborators in one of the greatest transformations Earth consciousness has ever experienced. Edgar Cayce's prophecy was not just about the future, it was a preparation manual for a reality that has already arrived. Right now, as you read these words, millions of dogs around the world are operating as conscious bridges between dimensions, energetic healers, and spiritual guardians of humanity. The question is no longer, will this happen? It's, how will you prepare for this new reality? If you have a dog at home, you need to understand that they may be much more than you imagine. Recent statistics show that 73% of domestic dogs exhibit at least one special ability that their owners initially attribute to coincidence. Learning to recognize and nurture these abilities can completely transform your relationship and open portals of communication you never thought possible. The first step is to observe patterns in your dog's behavior that go beyond common instinct. Does your dog appear by your side exactly when you're sad, even if in another room? Get restless before unexpected visitors arrive? Show special interest in certain parts of your body that later turn out to be areas of tension or health issues? These aren't random behaviors. They are manifestations of spiritual abilities in development. Dr. Patricia Goodman, an expert in animal communication, developed a simple protocol for identifying dogs with special abilities. Watch if your dog responds to your thoughts before you say them out loud. Try mentally calling them from another room. Monitor if they react to your emotions, even when you try to hide them. These are clear indicators of active telepathic communication. To nurture these abilities, establish daily moments of conscious connection with your dog. Sit in silence with them for 10-15 minutes, make gentle eye contact, and mentally send thoughts of gratitude and love. Many owners report that this simple practice dramatically enhances telepathic communication with their pets. For those who don't yet have a dog, be prepared to recognize when a special animal crosses your path. Dogs with specific spiritual missions often choose their human families through impressive synchronicities. They appear exactly when you need them most, demonstrate an instant and undeniable connection, or arrive through circumstances that feel like fate. Entirely new professions are emerging to support this new reality. Animal communicators, human-canine connection facilitators, telepathic skill trainers, and therapists working with human-dog pairs are becoming increasingly in demand. Technology is also adapting. Apps that monitor energetic synchronization between humans and dogs, devices that measure electromagnetic fields in environments with special pets, and platforms that connect owners of dogs with similar abilities are revolutionizing our understanding of this evolutionary partnership. Your dog may be one of the disguised masters Casey saw in his visions. And you may be one of the people chosen to be part of this transformation that is redefining what it means to be human on a planet where consciousness is evolving exponentially.
Yeah, go like that. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Real calming, soothing.
That was
Kind of-
awesome.
Yeah, someone asked about cats. There's cats are known for high intuition, right? The Egyptians used them a lot, so they were revered because they are very intuitive.
You know, I was in a restaurant one time and I was sitting next to a gentleman who he was kind of in the corner, and he hadn't eaten, but he had a martini. And this woman came in with this beautiful German Shepherd. It was quite a crowded restaurant. And all of a sudden the dog like got all weird and crazy and started pushing through people. I mean, like really working to get somewhere, almost like he was uncontrollable, but not mean. And he got right next to the guy that was next to me, got between his legs, came up, put his paw right here. And we were all like, what's going on? And then the girl said, sir, are you okay? And the man said, not feeling real good. He was getting ready to go into an insulin diabetic coma. And this dog is trained to find people with diabetes who are in distress. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it. And apparently it's a very, very easy thing to train your dog for because it's a smell that happens. But it was amazing to watch. This dog literally saved his life. It was crazy.
My friend swears her dog smelled her cancer before she knew she had it. So, yep.
I believe it. I've heard
That
that.
was-
I've heard that before too. From several people.
Yeah, there was a guy who had a YouTube channel. He has a bunch of German Shepherds, and he had his dog kept smelling his crotch area, and he didn't know what was going on. And he went to the doctor and found out he had prostate cancer.
Wow.
There you go.
So it's
Wow,
true.
that was really great. Thank you for that. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Our little Chihuahua, he stares at us, and his ears move like he can hear, like he's reading our thoughts. He's like Yoda.
Yeah, he's a little Yoda. He meditates. He'll sit there and like just meditate, and then he'll just like his eyes will close as he's sitting there, real slowly,
Yeah,
like he's listening.
yeah.
Well, like I'm watching what Mickey Moo said. She said she still feels Moo Moo with her sometimes. I totally believe that. I totally believe that they come and visit us in some way. Yeah, in this time and age and everything that we're going through with everything that's crazy, we need to just look at these four-legged animals and say to ourselves, they're what's getting us through. They're what's getting us through these crazy times. So,
No, definitely. I know ours do. They are make you feel calmer because they love on you. They never get mad at you.
They're jealous.
And where they say, you know, they're the only thing that jumps up and down and licks our face when we come home, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't know, Mr.
Yeah, Mom.
Sheepdog. I don't know. Maybe Mr. Sheepdog does that to you, Mrs. Sheepdog, when he comes home. But
Yeah, my mom's dog does that every time. She could just go to the store for 2 minutes, come back, and I mean, it's like Christmas.
It's like she's been gone.
Like she's gone.
I don't think they have much of a concept of time.
Yeah.
Because you can be gone 5 minutes and they act like you've been gone forever. You can be gone forever and they act the same way. So I don't know.
Yeah. That's what we do. We go outside, mess with the garden or something, we come back in. They act like we've been gone forever. We're only out there like 5-10 minutes. Yeah. They're funny.
Like Linda says right here, it says, I know her little dog Bruno knows when Jason is coming home. Jason he's a truck driver, so he's home at any time, day and night. But Bruno, he'll sit where he parks the truck and wait. And how does he know?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
They
great.
just know. They just know. I'm going to try to do what that documentary said. I'm going to try to like communicate with Cody without saying anything and see if he reacts. My husband's shaking his head that he'll call Cody in his quietness and Cody will come to him. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, when we would travel too, when we'd come back different routes, she would know when we were getting close to home.
Yeah.
Like she knew the route. She recognized it was crazy, and she would know that we were almost home and get all excited. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think they do visualize, like they know where home is. I do think that. I think they understand when they see things that are familiar. But I think it's also the smell, because their smell is so intensified that they can smell the familiar smells of home coming closer.
Oh yeah, their smell is unbelievable. I can get a piece of cheese in the kitchen. My dog will come up there. She knows I have it in my mouth. She'll do her nose too, like she smells it. They're funny.
Well, and when I was suffering with cancer and going through what I was going through with chemotherapy, I was in bed a lot. And I'll tell you, my dog never left my side, except for when my husband would come in and sit with me and send the dog out to pee and go potty. Other than that, he would not leave me alone. It was really kind of freaky. He just wouldn't leave. He wouldn't go into the other room. He was always by my side. It was just the coolest thing.
Wow.
You cheating, you ain't right.
Oh, that's actually kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Yeah. Well, there was a nursing home or a hospital, I can't remember where, and they had a cat, and the cat wandered the halls. I think it was a nursing home. And they said whenever the cat would go into a room and get on the bed, that person would pass within 24 hours. So nobody wanted the cat to come in. And it was like national news. This cat was like kind of known for, it's crazy. Well, I am going to have to hit the road. I have a dog who's standing at the door looking at me like,
I do too.
He's whining. He's has to
Oh,
I can
Lord.
hear yours, sheep.
No, that's not mine.
Oh, that's
Mine's
not.
growling.
It's Diana's.
You're muted, Diana.
I know Cody's whining. What did you say?
We hear them. We hear you.
Yeah, he's at the door looking at me like, hey. He normally doesn't really like to go out because it's so hot here. So he's pretty happy in the RV, but I think he has to go potty. So I think my husband's
All
going to
right.
have to go.
Well, thank you guys for coming on tonight.
Yes, thank
we
you.
appreciate the support. And we look forward to seeing you guys again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we're excited. We'll continue talking a little bit about traveling with pets, and of course, I think we're going to spend a little bit more time talking about some of the mushroom therapy for people, because I've heard a lot of people asking a lot of human questions, so we can go into that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sounds good.
Great. Thank you,
All right,
guys.
guys.
Thank everybody
Good
for
night.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, we'll go ahead and close it out right here. We had a good night tonight. We're going to keep it just about the pets, and we're going to be back tomorrow hitting it hard. Hope everybody has a good, peaceful rest of their night, a good, peaceful rest. And we'll see y'all back here tomorrow, same time. Hopefully we don't have any issues, but try to come on a little earlier. Tomorrow is Thursday, right?
Yes.
Alrighty. Well,
We love y'all.
I don't have any dog videos to go out with.
No.
close out with? We'll close out with this. Good night, guys.
Good night,
We'll see y'all
everyone.
tomorrow.